It is time to hand out some individual hardware. It's the individual finals coming up as we'll crown national champions on the vault, uneven bars, balance beam, and floor exercise from Westchester, Pennsylvania. The team crown, the all-around crown have been handed out, and we're going to send 4 more gymnasts home with hardware this afternoon in Southeastern PA. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kevin Kopp, joined once again by CHRISTINA CHAUVENET. CHRISTINA, have you recovered from the excitement of last night's team final? Lindenwood taking home the gold with a 195.7. Just a tremendous night here in Westchester.
Recovered. I'm bringing that energy today to event finals. For those that missed, really down to the wire, Texas women's and Lindenwood battling it out. Lindenwood uneven bars record for their last meet as a team, and excited to see so many awesome individuals this afternoon.
Absolutely. This is a really fun format today. It is all about the individual. It is a little bit outside of the norm for collegiate gymnastics, and in fact, the NCAA at their Division I level no longer has these individual event finals, so it's an excellent spotlighting. CHRISTINA, you made a great point last night when we were seeing that team competition, just how high the level is of competition here at the USAGs, and we're going to see that again today. I mean, there are gymnasts that have 9.9, 9.95, 10.0 potential on some of these events today, so it should be a ton of fun as we will get to hand out 4 national championships today. But we are going to recap the excitement of last night and take a look back at the team finals. As we noted, Lindenwood in their final meet as a team, somewhat bittersweet moment, but boy was it sweet to see what they did. A 49.375. They set a program record on the uneven bars in the final rotation of the night. They took home a 195.7, and they were able to extend their lead over Texas women's in that final rotation and bring home a team national title.
Absolutely. They, struggled a little bit on beam last night, came back, hit floor, and also just had a phenomenal rotation on bars. We're going to see a couple of their gymnasts in the bars final tonight, and they were on fire with those dismounts, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Absolutely. Not surprisingly, Lindenwood is the team most represented here today. We will see 10 Lindenwood routines in all this afternoon. But great performances throughout, CHRISTINA, as we look at the rest of this leaderboard. Texas women's a 195.450. They actually held the early lead after those struggles that Lindenwood had on the balance beam. Just weren't able to hold on. They did finish really strong with a season best 49.175 on vault. You had good moments from Air Force. We knew that they would excel on bars, and they did. They've been as high as 49.4 this year. They had a 49 flat on bars to get within 0.3 of the leaders, just weren't able to quite make it up in that final rotation. In Westchester, 193.525, wasn't able to threaten for the title, but an exciting night for Westchester to qualify to the team finals, to do it on their home floor. There's something that each of these 4 teams can take away from their performance last night.
Absolutely. And, I think all of these teams represented in the event finals. And the exciting thing about event finals is sometimes some athletes have some upgrades in the tank that maybe they aren't going to do in a team final that we might see here in event finals. So looking forward to that.
No doubt about it. And yes, each of those 4 teams and more teams throughout the competition here, you qualify to the event finals based off of what you did on Friday's semifinal competition. And as we are talking about the championships that we are going to award today, we are going to hand out vault, bars, beam, and floor individual titles, but the individual all-around title has already been decided. This was based on the results of the semifinals, the 2 sessions combined together, and we have already named Morgan Price out of Fisk as the all-around champion, 39.225. Jaylee Jones, who we're going to see again today from Lindenwood, 39.150. Kirsten Johnson had a terrific day for Talladega, especially on those 3 events you see there, vault, beam, and floor. We'll see her 3 times today. Maggie Slife, who has been great in the all-around in each of the last 2 days. All of these names are going to be represented in competition today, but CHRISTINA, just a tip of the hat to Morgan Price. Really a historic victory. Fisk getting their first individual national title and doing it in dramatic fashion.
Yeah, she's so dynamic, and we're going to see her on 3 events this afternoon. So really congratulations to her. And Johnson, as you mentioned, in that 3 spot, first above 39 all-around score for a Talladega gymnast. She nailed her 1.5 on vault in the semifinal to qualify. one judge through a 10. So we'll see what happens today, but I'm really looking forward to that. Jaylee Jones, such a huge contributor for Lindenwood. So excited to see what she's got on floor this afternoon as well.
Yeah, Friday was a good day to have a good day, and all of those names you see, we'll look forward to having represented in today's individual competition. But Morgan Price heading back to Fisk with a national title already, and we'll see if she can add to her haul this afternoon. So the format for today is going to be a little bit different. We are going to do vault and beam alternating in our first 2 sessions. So here are the qualifiers. This is not the order that they are going to be competing in. In fact, if you look over on that right-hand column, you'll see the session that each gymnast is assigned. It's a random draw. We have 13 qualifiers on vault. Kirsten Johnson, you already referenced, Christina, with that stuck Yurchenko layout 1.5. She got 110 from one of the 4 judge panels. And we're going to have 6 judge panels today in the competition. But here's the order of the 13 qualifiers by score. Should be a great vault competition today.
Absolutely. And, I think if Johnson sticks her 1.5 again, like she did, it's going to be really tough to beat. Looking through this lineup, really, that's the only 1.5 that we saw that's in the finals that competed in the semifinals. Now, Gayla Griswold, capable of doing that 1.5. She's been competing the full, so she's an athlete I'm keeping my eye on, want to see if she's going to pull out that 1.5 for finals.
Absolutely. So again, those will be broken up into 2 individual sessions. We're going to alternate vault and beam. So now let's look at the beam qualifiers. We had 13 on vault, 11 on beam. Basically the formula to qualify, it is the top 5 in each of the semifinal sessions, plus ties, and we will not break ties this afternoon as well, though we have 6 judge panels, making an eventual tie a little bit less likely. And you see Nia Kraus, no surprise, qualifying with the top score for Lindenwood, 9.875, an NCAA regional competitor as an individual, and she'll get a chance to continue her spectacular work on the balance beam today.
Yeah, she's so dynamic on beam, really calm competitor as well. Wasn't quite as crisp in finals as she was in semifinals, so it'll be interesting to see there. Michaela Burton, also a top contender, I think, for that beam title. She has really cool and unique balance beam composition, so this is going to be anyone's meet.
All right, so we are going to have vault and beam first, and then after we hand out the vault and the beam trophies, we'll take a break at the midpoint, and then we'll come back with bars and floor. So we'll dig in on those qualifier orders later in today's competition, but vault and beam will get to go first. So that is the order of things today, and we would be remiss not to begin without thanking our sponsors for making this possible. It's been 3 days of terrific coverage here in Westchester, Pennsylvania, to be able to bring you the team semifinals and individual all-around competition, last night's team finals, and of course today's individual finals as well. So we want to begin by thanking Chester County Tourism, who's welcoming you to the Chester County's Brandywine Valley. And you can inspire your visit at brandywinevalley.com. The heart of America's garden capital, springtime in the Brandywine Valley is botanical bliss. Stroll lush gardens in full bloom, from artfully curated spring blooms at Longwood Gardens to natural arboretums bursting with azaleas and wildflowers of every color. Visit www.brandywinevalley.com or instagram.com/brandywinevalley. Synergy Gymnastics in Malvern, Pennsylvania is proud to be sponsoring the 2024 Collegiate National Championships. Wishing best of luck to all the athletes and teams at this year's competition. Founded and led by women who believe in the power of female unity, they are committed to building a culture of teamwork, caring, respect, empathy, energy, and grit. Visit synergygymnasticspa.com or instagram.com/synergygymnasticspa. They are located in Malvern, Pennsylvania, just 15 minutes from today's host site, Westchester University. Striving for perfection, DGS is the largest gymnastics supply company in the USA and the official grip supplier for the USA Gymnastics men's and women's national teams. Your source for everything gymnastics for 30 years. Visit gymsupply.com or instagram.com/DGSGymSupply. Lorenzo's Steaks and Hoagies, known as the Big Meat on Market Street. At Lorenzo's Steaks, we are home to the best cheesesteaks and hoagies. Whether it's our 14-ounce hand-cut ribeye steaks or our 2-pound cut-to-order hoagies, we have something for everyone. We have been voted #1 hoagies and cheesesteaks in Chester County. Visit lorenzossteaks.com or instagram.com/lorenzossteaks and hoagies. And as a former competitor of this championship, LaFleur's Gymnastics would like to wish congratulations and good luck to every gymnast in today's competition. LaFleur's Gymnastics in Largo, Florida. Open since 1980, LaFleur's prides itself on running one of the best gymnastics-only training facilities in the Tampa-St. Pete area. Visit LaFleursGymnastics.com or Instagram.com/LaFleurs_Largo_gymnastics. CIC for Life and Annuities. They are a full-service brokerage agency providing products, marketing, and underwriting support for financial and insurance professionals. Their vision is to improve the lives of others through life insurance solutions and by providing leading insurance opportunities through products, marketing, underwriting, and case management support for financial professionals. Visit coastalic.net, just 15 minutes from Westchester University. And last but not least, you can eat, drink, and bowl. Palace is a one-of-a-kind bowling alley and entertainment center offering fun the entire family will enjoy. Family-friendly bowling featuring a full-service bar, snack bar, leagues, parties, and more. Bowling is a timeless source of fun that knows no age limits. Reserve a lane today by visiting www.thepalacebowling.com or Instagram.com/thepalacebowling. Located in Downingtown, Pennsylvania, just about a 15-minute drive here from Westchester University. And we are here at Hollinger Fieldhouse, the individual finals, just about ready to get underway. We will have our teams represented, and as the gymnasts take the floor, we will turn it over to public address to introduce today's lineups.
From Talladega, Kiara Peart Williams. From Cornell, Sydney Beers. From Lindenwood, Gayla Griswold. From the University of Bridgeport, Abigail Kenny. Brown University, Julia Bedell. Texas Women's University, Sophia Isbell. And from Fisk University, Morgan Price. On the beam from Talladega, Alondra Maldonado. From Cornell, Michaela Burton. From Westchester University, Lily McFarland. From Lindenwood, Naya Kraus. From Cornell, Sydney Beers. From the U.S. Air Force Academy, Clara Wallace. From Texas Women's University, Emily Six. From Lindenwood, Jaylee Jones. From Talladega, Kirsten Johnson. From Brown, Lauren Kramer. From the U.S. Air Force Academy, Kylie Green. On the bars, from the U.S. Air Force Academy, Maggie Slight. From Texas Women's University, Brooke Ferrari. Southern Connecticut State University's Gigi Mastalone. Lindenwood University's Hannah Applegate. And from Fisk University, Morgan Price. From Lindenwood, Kaylee Cooper. From Westchester, Jordan Coleman. From Texas Women's University, Cami Zalengo. From Lindenwood, Naya Kraus. And from Brown, Asta Farrell. On the floor, from Brown, Sophia Dewar. From Southern Connecticut State University, Libby Allen. From Cornell University, Jersey Moylan. From Cornell, Alexandra Kiana. From Cornell, Sydney Beers. From Brown University, Maya Davis. From Talladega, Kirsten Johnson. From Lindenwood, Jaylee Jones. From Fisk University, Morgan Price. From the U.S. Air Force Academy, Maggie Slight. From Lindenwood, Gayla Griswold. From Southern Connecticut State University, Ava Kelly. From Centenary College, Olivia Williams. And from Westchester University, Caroline Cascade. Gentlemen, remove your caps. As we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Introduced, national anthem complete, and we will look at today's competition order. Kevin Kopp, CHRISTINA CHAUVENET with you here on Virtius. And again, to explain how this is going to work, vault and beam will alternate in the first two rotations, and the groups are broken up roughly in half. It's about 10 competitors on each event, top 5, but we do have some ties, so some extra gymnasts. So we'll alternate vault and beam in rotation 1 and rotation 2. At the midpoint, we'll know our vault national champion and our beam national champion. And then in rotations 3 and 4, we will alternate the uneven bars and floor exercise. By the end of the day, we'll have 4 national championships to award. And CHRISTINA, a whole lot of fun that we are in store for. Again, folks like you and I and anyone watching today, you can't get enough gymnastics. And so if we can get 3 days out of the weekend, we're going to take it every time.
And one of the things that's so special about event finals, as I mentioned, because these athletes, you know, the team finals are complete. They're so used to competing for the team. Today, they're competing for themselves. And so they can really go for broke, do some of those more difficult skills, do some of those upgrades. I'm really looking forward to this afternoon.
Yeah, and you could already hear from the introductions. It's also a unique environment because even the most represented team here, Lindenwood, who's got 10 routines represented in the individual finals, the entire team isn't qualifying. And so you've got, if you came with your team here to Westchester, you've got a built-in cheering section. And so it's definitely an unusual dynamic with only a couple of gymnasts on the floor at any given time. You get center stage after the chaos of the quad meets the last few days. You get the entire arena to yourself, and it really is a special highlight for these terrific routines. As we look at the first rotation here, what we're going to see in the first half of our vault lineup, and we will begin with Lindenwood's Reese Beekle, Talladega's Kirsten Johnson, Lindenwood's Jaylee Jones, Texas Women's Caitlin Hoyland, Brown's Angela Zing, Westchester's Sarah Eskew, and Talladega's Kiara Hurt-Williams. So this is the first half of the vault competition. We've got 7 in this first rotation, and we'll have 6 in our second rotation on vault. And definitely some early highlights, and right off the bat, in this random draw, we're going to see Kirsten Johnson up second with that big Yurchenko 1.5. Should be a tone setter for the rest of the day.
Absolutely. And one of the other things I want to highlight for fans, you know, I said that I feel like Johnson coming in as the favorite, not only because she was the top qualifier, but also the gymnasts that did not compete yesterday. So that's those folks from Talladega, folks from Fisk. We'll point those other athletes out throughout the day. They had a day of rest in between semifinals and finals. And so the athletes that competed, Texas Women's, Lindenwood, Westchester, Air Force, they're competing 3 days in a row. That's a lot on the body. So just flagging that as an area to watch.
Yeah, that's a terrific point, Christine. And again, selfishly, as fans who don't have to get out there and actually do these routines, of course, 3 times in 3 days, get
Right.
back out there. We want to see great gymnastics, but there is no doubt there is a reason why there has been, some debate over these individual event finals. The NCAA no longer does it at the Division I level, and it is certainly punishing. But I think we certainly wish everyone the best today, and look forward to seeing what they've got. It's your last time competing for a long time for some of these gymnasts, obviously last time ever competing at the collegiate level, and so hopefully a fun opportunity to showcase what they've got one last time. So that is your vault lineup as we look at the first rotation on vault. And again, we are going to alternate vault and beam. So here's what we'll be looking at on beam in this first rotation. We will begin with Talladega's Alondra Maldonado, followed by Cornell's Michaela Burton, Westchester's Lily McFarland, Lindenwood's Nia Kraus, Cornell's Sydney Beers, and Air Force's Clara Wallace. So we've got some heavy hitters, Christina, in this first half of the beam draw. Again, randomly assigned. It has nothing to do with NQS qualifying, nothing to do with your qualifying score on Friday. Nia Kraus is the defending champion on this event, an NCAA regional individual qualifier as well. You've also got Sydney Beers, who is the defending all-around champion at the USAG level, so some terrific talent right off the bat here on beam as well.
Absolutely, and shout out to Alondra Maldonado from Talladega, their first year as a college gymnastics team. She's a fifth-year transfer from Iowa State. Her sister also on the Iowa State team, so she's a dynamic beam worker. This beam final is stacked. I can't wait.
Absolutely, and again, this is just the first half of it. The scores from the first session will be compared to the scores from the second session or second rotation, however you want to term it, and we will have one beam champion. So we'll know where things stand at the halfway point as this first group of 6 competes. We'll have 11 competitors on the balance beam overall, so we'll have 5 in our second rotation that will represent Texas Women's, Lindenwood, Talladega, Brown, and Air Force. And you're right, Christina, I think a really important point to make about Talladega. Again, we talked about this with Fisk and Morgan Price, the historic firsts, and of course, I think the history of it is magnified by Talladega and Fisk's status as HBCUs, and we have rightly, I think, lamented the loss of a team like Lindenwood for the sport, but we should also celebrate the gains to this sport coming from schools like Fisk and Talladega and the other programs that have launched NCAA and USAG level competitive teams in the last few seasons.
Absolutely, and shout out to our friends at Brown Girls Do Gymnastics, such a monumental part of that creation of Fisk as the first HBCU and now Talladega, and hopefully we'll see some more HBCUs adding gymnastics. Just really exciting to see that diversity in college gymnastics.
Absolutely, and the proof that you can excel at a national level is borne out by looking at these lineups today as we come back to vault, where we will go first. And again, alternating between vault and beam here in our first rotation. We do have 7 vaulters and 6 beam competitors. We'll go back and forth for these first 2 rotations. Then we will alternate bars and floor as you look at the last couple of touch warm-ups here on the vault, trying to get everything dialed in and ready to go here in our first rotation. And another great crowd. Again, a lot of gymnasts in the crowd as well, a lot of teammates. So a little bit different atmosphere today, but should be a whole lot of fun.
Absolutely, and as we look at this vault final, we're really going to keep an eye. Of course, stuck landings are going to be really important here, but also the chest position on landing, really looking for those athletes to land with their chest fully upright. That's a big part of the landing deductions, potential landing deductions, in addition to foot movement. All the athletes in this final have huge dynamics in their vaults. So really we're going to be looking for maybe leg separation in the air, those chest positions on landing, and of course, no foot movement. That's your ideal vault. And, most of these vaults are starting out of a 995, that Yurchenko full. And we've got a couple other different vaults in this final as well, starting from that 995 that have the half on, the full on. And so it's going to be, there's not that much difference between the 10-0, that 1.5 start value, and the 995. Remember, half a tenth is the smallest magnitude of deduction that you can take. As I mentioned, though, if Johnson sticks that 1.5 like she did in prelims, I think it's going to be tough for folks to beat her.
Yeah, certainly you think about the margin of separation at this level is going to be so minuscule. So having that extra half-tenth in your pocket could well come in handy. Of course, you got to go out and execute on top of it. And one thing while we're talking about numbers, Christina, that I think is worth flagging for our fans who may not have a lot of familiarity with individual event finals, and that is that we are moving to a 6-judge panel for today's competition. We've had 4-judge panels here in the team semifinals and the team finals over the last 2 days, where you throw out the high and low and average the middle 2 scores. So the final number you get is similar to what you would see in a typical dual meet anyway. Here you've got 6 judges, so we're going to throw out the high and low and average the middle 4. So we get to dive into some extra decimal places this afternoon. You'll get scores like a 99375 or a 99625 as we go out to that .0125 separator. And obviously, when you have this many gymnasts who are all so good, you've got to look for every bit of separation that you can get.
Yeah, I appreciate that separation. And if you are a stats nerd, such as Kevin and I, you can go on the Virtius platform and you can check out the judges' splits for yourself. Really fun aspect of the Virtius platform, so you can see how those judges are lining up.
Absolutely, and yeah, we encourage you to check out the Virtius platform with us today. One of the nice things after having a couple days of quad meet competition is that there's only one screen today. We get a full screen view of each of these gymnasts. As we said, they get the arena to themselves, rightly deserved, and it looks as if we are just about to get underway here. We're going to start off with Lindenwood's Reese Beekle. She's got a season-high score of 9.9 on vault. She qualified to this final with a 9.85 on Friday, and we are officially going to get today's competition underway.
And she's got a huge Yurchenko full. Did land a little outside of the directional lines last night. Let's see what she does here. Oh, really? Did a better job of that directionality just on the line there. Her chest was a little forward, you saw in that landing. I think she might have opened up just a little early for landing there. Still, nice height and distance on that vault.
Yeah, absolutely, and I do think there is a little bit of a temptation, especially today when you're going so hard for that stick. You could see how much she wanted to pull in. It did cause her to take that little step forward. So, again, you know, you always are trying to find the balance between going as big as possible and clearly placing a premium on landings today, as we will go over to the beam now, and Alondra Maldonado representing Talladega up on the beam.
And she opens with this big front toss. Really well controlled there. And nice correction. Her front foot was a little off in that back handspring layout step out, but she just settled into it. Nice stretch through those split elements. Gosh, she's a powerful beam worker. That full turn required in all college gymnastics routines. Would have liked to see her finish that turn on releve a little higher. Little bounce back on that gainer full, but really dynamic routine.
Taking an extra moment there to appreciate the moment for Talladega, a historic season, and able to complete it here in the USAG individual event finals. As we see the scores come in, it's a 9-6 to open things up for Beekle, and now the star of the show on Friday, Kirsten Johnson.
Here's that 1.5. Doesn't quite stick the landing, takes that pace forward, but it was big in the air. She got that nice high block off the table, clean in the air. Good for her.
Yeah, Johnson, a terrific performance on Friday. She was the last vault of the session. Went for broke, stuck it, 10 from one judge, 9.925. Won't get back to that number today. But again, starting from that 10-0, she's got a little bit of a cushion over the majority of these competitors that will have a 9.95 start value vault, and we will see where that one lands. Meanwhile, over on beam, awaiting the opening scores for Alondra Maldonado, and up second will be Cornell's Michaela Burton.
Next up,
And I absolutely love to watch her on this event. She is the co-beam record holder with her teammate, Alex Kiana. And just one of those athletes who I've just really enjoyed watching, a real natural beamer. She's really composed, really has become a lot more consistent this season in her beam work. And so really excited to see her. The highlight of her routine for me is her acrobatic series. She does a unique aerial combo.
She's one of 2 gymnasts in the competition that have posted a 9.9 in this season. She qualified a 9.825 on Friday.
Clean through that full turn. And here's that combo, aerial. Come on, that is so difficult to connect the front aerial right into the side aerial. Very calm and composed on that. Back leg a little low on that first switch side, or switch split, excuse me. The front toss, the way that she finishes that with her chest so upright, finishes it so high, she's so dynamic. See if she can get the stick here on this 1.5. Just a little adjustment there, so that'll be a half attempt, but again, into another element, particularly a side aerial, and she kept that going so well.
Yeah, it's a great look there. Following an opening 9.8 from Alondra Maldonado, we'll await the score from Michaela Burton as we come back to vault. You see that 9.875 for Kirsten Johnson, and that's going to put some real pressure on these 9.95 start value vaults. You're going to need to be near perfect with execution. And up next is Lindenwood's Jaylee Jones.
And she's one of the athletes competing that Yurchenko full. I love her technique. She really lets the vault rise before she twists, and I love that technique. That hop on landing, though, so probably not going to challenge Johnson for that 9.875 spot.
Now, it's going to take something pretty special, again, with those 9.95 start values. Jones qualified to this meet with a 9.75. She's gone as high as 9.8 this season.
And then twist. We have a moniker in gymnastics, flip then twist, and she implements that really well there.
Back over on the beam now as you see some of the judges' scores. 3 judges on each side of the beam. We'll await Michaela Burton's score following that opening 9.8 from Alondra Maldonado. Up third is going to be Lily McFarland. Obviously a special weekend already for Westchester, Christina, with qualifying to the USAG team final for the first time, and an exciting opportunity for these Westchester gymnasts. We'll see a few of them in competition today for one more routine on their home floor.
Yeah, Westchester has just had such a great season, and so really wonderful to see them represented in event finals like this. Back handspring, layout, step out. Little off there, you could see in her hips, and has to take that correction, but keeps it moving. Nice chest position on that finish of that aerial. And again, maybe just shy of split in one of those split elements. Every time the athlete's going to split, looking for them to finish in that achieve that 180-degree split. Hop on that dismount, so not going to see into those higher scoring ranges, but really, I really like the grit that I saw from her in that routine. You know, had that bobble in her opening series, but kept it going through the rest of the routine. Some really nice gymnastics in there.
Meanwhile, as we go back over to vault, the question is going to be, can anyone catch that 9.875 from Kirsten Johnson in the number 2 spot? Jaylee Jones scoring a 9.6375 up fourth. Caitlin Hoyland, Texas Women's.
Big Yurchenko full. Wow. Okay, Kevin. Well,
yeah, I think we've got a competition
you asked who
now.
to challenge it. It's gonna be interesting to see what the judges do with that, because she had a really big Yurchenko full. Again, 9.95 start. I'd have to see it on replay just to verify what the landing looked like. I think she did come in a little bit short. You could see her chest position ever so slightly forward. So that's going to be probably in the half a tenth range. Starts from a 9.95. It's going to get interesting.
And again, 6 judge panels. We throw out the high and low. We average the middle 4. Pat is going to challenge for sure that 9.875 from Kirsten Johnson. Terrific job by Caitlin Hoyland, who had a season-best 9.875 this season, qualified with a 9.85 on Friday. Certainly expects to be back in that range here. And up fourth, one of the competitors to watch on this event, Nia Kraus of Lindenwood.
And Kevin, you know how much I love to watch Nia on this event. We're going to see her on a couple of events tonight, but beam is really her specialty. Just really calm and confident beam worker. And that's what I mean. She was so sure of herself when she came up from that back handspring layout step out, just authoritatively put her hands down. Oh, nice split position in that switch half, but really tricky, those turning split elements, and just has a bobble there. The hop back, so not quite going to see her in that higher scoring range. She's been having the best celebrations. Absolutely love that for her. She is a gymnast that has expressed interest in transferring, continuing her gymnastics career, so we'll have to see. A lot of these Lindenwood underclassmen obviously have the opportunity to transfer to finish out their college gymnastics career, so we'll have to keep an eye and see where these athletes end up.
Back to vault, Angela Zing from Brown.
And big Yurchenko full. She does have that small hop back, but unlike some of the other athletes that had the hops, she takes that small hop back, which from the Yurchenko full is open.
And by the way, we didn't get to touch on it before Zing's vault, but you may have caught by virtue of the live scoreboard before it, Caitlin Hoyland 9.825 on the vault. So that 9.875 remains untouched from Kirsten Johnson, as on beam we await the score for Nia Kraus. Sydney Beers will be up 5th in our beam competition.
The judging there was appropriate. I do think when I think about the 1.5 with that hop forward, I think what happened with Hoyland's vault is, as I mentioned, her chest was forward, and that's where the judges probably decided to take it. Some of them might have gone into that 10th range, which, the scoring this season in NCAA gymnastics has been a little loose. So I'm glad to see that separation in this event finals. That's what the judges should be doing, is separating these gymnasts. Great vault by Hoyland, but not, in my opinion, quite as good as that 1.5 we saw from Johnson.
Well, and Christina, you talk about applying that kind of rigor to the decisions, because obviously, the tenths, the quarter tenths, even today, potentially the 1/8 tenths will matter. And if we could see that kind of scrutiny applied in every dual meet setting the entire season, I think the sport is better for it.
Would love to see it.
It's a very good way to avoid getting into any further trouble. I tried to set you up there. You didn't take the bait.
And Sydney Beers, who we're getting set to see here, gosh, she is so dynamic, not just on beam. We're going to see her on floor as well. Super, super powerful athlete. Fun fact, she's trained a double back off beam. She's that powerful. I don't think we're going to see that today. Maybe, who knows, next year in an event final situation. But when I saw her warming up, she was doing her gainer full off the side. Really hard to stick that double back, but it just gives you an idea of how powerful she is.
She is the 2022 USAG all-around champion. She's qualified in 3 events here this afternoon.
Cat leap into the front toss. Another one of those athletes doing that big front toss. Really powerful. Would have liked to see a little more precision in that cat leap leading up to it. Gearing up for her series here. Backhand spring. Layout step out. Look at the height she gets on that layout step out. Just a little insecure on landing, but handles it. And I do think one of the points of separation for these beam finalists is going to be the positionality of these split elements. Nice inside full turn there. Hangs on to that gainer full. Really nice couple small moments in there, but really great to see her hit that routine.
Yeah, the high score right now, 2-way tie between Maldonado and Burton at 9-8. So we haven't seen quite the separation yet over on beam. As we come back to vault, you see Angela Zing scored a 9.6875, up 6th in our first rotation. Westchester's Sarah Eskew.
And this is one of those different entry vaults. Does the full on, just didn't get the block that she needed off of the table. That she didn't quite get the height she needed, comes in short. That full on tuck off, 9.95 start value there. Love to see that variety though. Such a cool vault.
Definitely. And, Eskew, one of those gymnasts, like you mentioned earlier, Christina, competing for the 3rd time.
It is really hard to get a good block on these vaults that are twisting onto the table. Most of the vaults we see are twisting off the table, so it's a lot easier to get your arms back and get that nice push off the table. And I've seen her be a little bit more dynamic on that vault, just not her day today.
One of the things that we noted as part of the Virtius platform is we have a little moment here while we wait for the scores for Sydney Beers. You can get those judging splits with the 6 judges. Also interesting to see the judging start values as well. Nia Kraus, a good example, scored a 9.6625. We had 2 judges that had the routine at a 10.0 start, 2 that had it at a 9.9, and 2 that had it at a 9.8.
Yeah, one of those places that, again, and a lot of times what will happen there is if there's a hesitation in a connection of a series, and that's why I'm pointing out when there are just little hesitations here and there, the judges can either decide to take a deduction from the execution, or they can decide to knock the start value down. And so that's where you see those separations.
All right, we are ready to go with the final beam competitor of our first rotation from Air Force, Clara Wallace.
And she has been leading off Air Force, such a tall task for a freshman, but you're going to see why, because she is really powerful here, has got some great skills, not quite as much extension in those split elements as some of the others in the lineup, but this is the highlight of the routine for me, this acrobatic series. Check this out. Backhand spring, layout step out, layout step out. Come on. That was right on. It's very, very rare to see that combination anywhere in NCAA gymnastics. Front toss, little off on that, but again, just takes her time making the correction. Clean in that full turn. Sinks into that dismount. Good for her. Really bright future for her at Air Force. The sky's the limit. in that landing. I love it.
All right, back over to vault. Last up, Kiara Pert-Williams from Talladega.
Oh, gosh. You know, I think she was a little high on the table, just comes in short, has to put her hands down there. So, you know, but again, really promising to see these athletes from Talladega in the vaulting final. And definitely I've seen her do some really dynamic fulls, so keep an eye on her in future.
Yep, Talladega represented twice here in vault. We'll also see Kirsten Johnson, who is the vault leader right now. That 9.875 up second in the lineup, has held up thus far. And we will see if she can bring home a vault national title to Talladega. We'll get the scores from Kiara Pert-Williams, and that officially brings us to the end of the first rotation. And you made a note earlier, Christina, about Clara Wallace, and you know, being the leadoff is sometimes not best for your scoring potential. So to have the NQS that she had, to be able to start off with a 9.825 on Friday's competition and get into this competition out of the leadoff spot, not an easy thing to do. And she went and knocked out a terrific performance there. I think it's kind of funny that the random draw gives her the de facto anchor position. We get to see a chance how she scores in the 6th spot.
Yeah, she gets a little bit of karma there after leading off all season in the leadoff spot. She's in the in that anchor, as you say, position.
Well, one rotation is in the books, and we are going to get to step away and take a break, but we're going to check in with one of our sponsors, Chester County's Brandywine Valley, to learn a little bit more about the beautiful area here around the Westchester University campus, and we'll also hear from the head coach of the host institution, Barbara Cordova. We'll take a break, back with more vault and beam USAG individual event finals as we continue.
You know that feeling? Carefree excitement, sun on your skin, fun on a whim. Getaways fall into place. Cares fall by the wayside. Time slows down in buzzing downtowns. Summer's in the air in Chester County's Brandywine Valley, nestled in the countryside of Philadelphia. Take it in with a getaway and receive untimed tickets to Longwood Gardens with your stay at Brandywine.
And I really feel like this championship is really one of the huge things that has made our program so successful. When I started 16 years ago, as you know, we were just trying to break 180. We went to this championship, I had one all-arounder qualify. Then the next year we had two all-arounders qualify. And then I think it was maybe in 2014 was the first year that we had an All-American. And then in 2017 was the first year we qualified as a team. And that year we had the all-around champion, Majesta Valentine. And then we've qualified as a team several more times since then. But the thing is, this championship really is, I think, the main thing that has helped grow our program, because it provides an opportunity for athletes to compete in postseason, to earn All-American status. And so it's a huge recruiting tool, because people want the opportunity to compete postseason, and this championship allows that. It's such a fun championship. We have such a good time. And, you know, it has the opportunity to make it onto a final, make it onto an individual event final or a team final. So this championship means a lot to me. I'm very passionate about it. Also, for many years, I've been on, you know, the championship committee in many different roles, and it's because I'm so passionate about collegiate gymnastics and those mid-level schools getting an opportunity.
All right, so some words from our sponsors and the host institution, Westchester University, who we got to see involved in rotation number 1 as we come out to look at the lineup for the second half of our beam and floor competitions. This is the second rotation of the day. Looking at the beam now, we will have 5 more competitors, beginning with Emily Six from Texas Women's. You have Jaylee Jones from Lindenwood, Kirsten Johnson from Talladega, Lauren Kramer from Brown, and Kylie Green in the anchor position, quote unquote, for Air Force. And she is going to be chasing, as everyone else is, Air Force teammate Clara Wallace, who had a 9.8875 up 6th in that first rotation. And how about the youth movement here, Christina, in the first rotation? Clara Wallace and Kirsten Johnson, 2 freshmen, are our clubhouse leaders at the midway point.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's some really great routines in this second half of the rotation. Of course, Johnson, that quick switch over to beam. She's really powerful here as well. Emily Six, really great beam worker, very calm and confident. This could be still anyone's meet. I think they got that rank order right in the first half. Wallace's routine was just so dead on, and that triple series is so special.
Yeah, how about it here? 6-judge panel, USAG individual finals, a new career high for Clara Wallace, 9.8875. And again, she's a gymnast that you said stepped into that leadoff position as a freshman. I think it's commonly regarded as the toughest lineup assignment for any athlete to have to lead off on beam. To do it as a freshman, probably not going to be in that leadoff position for long as we think about her career at Air Force and the scoring potential that she's going to have maybe further down in that beam lineup moving forward.
Yeah, and, like I said, I think, Maggie Slife getting so much attention as that all-around qualifier to regionals, deservedly. Clara Wallace, huge contributor to Air Force, and is going to be part of building that program moving forward as well.
They were one of the Final Four in the team finals last night. Fully expect, based on their talent, that they're returning to see them in the mix again next year. As we look at the second half of our vault order, this is the final 6 competitors out of 13 in vault. Sydney Beers also doing double duty here. She was in the first rotation on beam. She'll lead off here on vault for Cornell, followed by Lindenwood's Gayla Griswold, Bridgeport's Abigail Kenny, Brown's Julia Bedell, Texas Women's Sophia Isbell, and Fisk's Morgan Price in the anchor spot. And you talk about talent. We are loaded with it here in the second half of this vault lineup. Again, the number that these gymnasts are trying to chase is a 9.875 from Talladega's Kirsten Johnson in the first half of this rotation.
Yeah, and there are some gigantic Yurchenko fulls here. And so it's really, it'll really be interesting to see what athletes are able to stick that Yurchenko full, because that's what it's going to take if they want to challenge that 9.875.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to be all those other things that you've talked about as well, beyond just the stuck landing. That's kind of a prerequisite if you're going to get up to that number, and also just the body position in the air, the block off the table. It's all going to need to be near perfect to challenge that 9.875 coming from that 10.0 start value vault that we saw from Kirsten Johnson. So 2 freshmen in the lead at the midway point. Johnson with a 9.875 on vault. Clara Wallace a 9.8875 on the beam. So, you have the benefit of going in the second half of the order. You know what the number is. You know what you need to do. It's going to be nothing short of near perfection to get it done here in the second half for vault and beam. And we are that much closer to awarding a national title, pair of them here in the next couple of minutes.
And just saw Abigail Kenny in your screen. They were warming up her half on, tuck off vault, which is, again, one of the different style vaults as opposed to those Yurchenko layout fulls, Yurchenko layout 1.5s, 9.95 start value there as well.
We certainly appreciate, we talk about this with team lineup construction as well. And certainly, the individuals represented here, you get some of that different entries to the table. You get some variety in the lineup. Always makes for an exciting competition. And again, Kirsten Johnson bringing a 10.0 start value vault here to USAGs. You saw the effect that was able to have.
Yeah, again, Sydney Beer is in that top spot, fully capable of sticking her Yurchenko full. And I honestly, I wonder if they have an upgrade in the tank for next season, because she always has more power than, you need for a Yurchenko full. Same thing for Morgan Price in that 6th spot. Julia Bedell in that 4th spot. Expected to see her in floor finals. She had some mistakes in prelims, so not going to be able to defend her title there. But look at that. Morgan Price warming up that huge Yurchenko full. For me, it's just for her whether she can control that landing, because she does have so much power.
Morgan Price, the individual all-around champion, 39.225 on Friday. First national title for Fisk. And you look at what she has done this season. She is one of the gymnasts in this second half of the vault order that has gone 9-9 or above this season. Sydney Beers has done it. Gayla Griswold has done it. She's gone 9-9-5. And Morgan Price 9-9 this season. So a couple of the names to keep an eye on in this second half of the vault order as we are just about ready to get things underway. Again, we'll be alternating vault and beam here in the second rotation. Scores carry over from the first to the second rotation, so the number that everyone is chasing, a 9.875 on vault, and we'll begin with Sydney Beers.
9-9 career high here. Big Yurchenko full. Might have had the tiniest foot adjustment on landing. We'll have to see if we can see that on replay. Let's take a look here. Look at the block that she gets off the table. Big air time here. Opens up. Yeah, just really nice chest position on that landing.
Yeah, that was really well done right out of the gate here. And Beers, who has some USAG hardware in her career, back in 2022 won the all-around. That is as good a start as you can ask for on vault. We'll see how the opening score for Kirsten Johnson holds up as we come over to beam. Representing Texas Women's University is Emily Six.
And I love that show of flexibility right from the top here. And just really authoritative, again, in that back handspring layout, step out, really secure in landing. Back leg a little low on that switch split. And, you know, typically when we see athletes come short of that 180, it is that back leg that's just lagging a little under. So that's just something to keep your eye on as you watch these routines. Low landing on that front toss. Again, want to see those athletes really landing in an upright position. But I love to see so many front tosses in this event final. Good for her. Really nice way to end that routine. 1.5 stuck dismount.
And she qualified here by matching her season high score on Friday, 9.825 in the team semifinal competition. Punch her ticket here to individual event finals, and you see the score for Sydney Beers, 9.825. So that's where those Yurchenko layout fulls have topped out so far this afternoon. Gayla Griswold trying to change that here, up second.
Yeah, I gotta say that number feels low to me for Beers. I would have had it higher. I think she's gonna do the full here. Let's have a look. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious, Griswold. That was a huge Yurchenko full. Does have that hop back. And I think that's one of the challenging things for these athletes that are capable of doing the 1.5. Again, she was out with a non-gymnastics injury. But it's hard for them. They're so used to competing that bigger vault. But she just gets such great height on there. Not gonna challenge for that top spot with that hop back. But I'm just thrilled to see her in these event finals. Wasn't sure if we were gonna see her, you know, competing at USAGs. She is a 5th year, so this is her final year of gymnastics.
Yeah, what a difference it made for Lindenwood, to get her back at the right time and be able to help propel that team to a team title last night, 195.7. And Griswold, we will see one more time in her Lindenwood career. She will be on floor exercise in our 4th rotation. Back over here on beam, we are awaiting the scores for Emily Six. Up first, Jaylee Jones is going to be second. So we'll keep the Lindenwood theme going here, CHRISTINA, a team that is unsurprisingly very well represented here in Sunday's individual event finals.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I'm really glad to see them just celebrating. They're having a great time. Of course, they are coming off of that huge national championship last night, so everybody's in really good spirits. Looks like there is a judging conference here. If those judges' scores are more than 0.2 apart, they're coming together and they're determining what folks took, and maybe some start value issues there. Might have been related to the front toss.
And again, 6 judge panels today, so these conversations have a bit more to work through to get everyone on the same page, and a little bit of an extra weight here for Jaylee Jones as she gets ready to compete second.
Well, and because she landed really low in that front toss, connected it to the beat. This is what I think is happening. I don't have a mic in there. I don't know exactly what they're talking about, but she landed low in that connect. She was connecting it to a beat jump. So I bet that's what they're discussing, is whether or not they gave her credit for that connection.
So the discussion has concluded. Scores will come in now, and the wait continues for Jaylee Jones. Jones,
yeah, and
we'll
you
see
can
again in floor as well. She's going to lead off the 4th rotation.
Yeah, and you can see a couple. We can see a couple of those that were turned around. The start value on one side had 9.9, and so I'm guessing they didn't give her that connection. And as a reminder for our fans, the way that athletes build difficulty in this routine, if you do all of the elements that are required in the routine, which all these gymnasts will, barring, some huge mistake, you will start from a 9.4. Then the gymnasts have to build their way up to a 10.0 start value. And you can do that through a couple of different ways. One is doing D or E elements, those more difficult elements, and you get 1/10 per D element, 2/10 per E element. And you can also build that through connections. And that's that front toss to beat jump that I was talking about. That's a way to build an extra 10th of start value. And so that's why these connections are so important.
And you do see from each of the judges as they turn around their individual scores, 9.9 start value is where everyone landed on the routine for Emily 6. So we will compile those scores and get ready to go with Jaylee Jones here up second. Meanwhile, over on vault, Gayla Griswold did score a 9.8 after the 9.825 from Sydney Beers. We have 4 vaulters left and 4 left on the beam, beginning now at long last with Jaylee Jones.
And she's got her acrobatic series right off the top here. Back handspring layout, step out. Really confident there. I love how she moves right into that releve work after the back handspring layout, step out. Cat leap, switch half. Lacking some precision in the positions of both of those leap elements. Really smooth beam work, though, overall. Just that little pace forward, but nice routine.
Yeah, never easy when you have that extra weight, trying to stay loose, stay focused, do all those things, especially before going up on balance beam. Jones handled it well.
Yeah, and really the highlight for that routine for me was her series, that back handspring layout, step out, really clean and confident.
All right, back over to vault now. We said 9.825, 9.8 on two Yurchenko fulls. This is Bridgeport's Abigail Kenny.
And there's that half on front tuck. She takes that step forward, but really cool vault. I really like to see that. And yeah, she had the pace forward, but what I liked about it was that she got that rotated all the way around. If you are going to take a step, the ideal is to take a step in the direction of the vault. That's indicating that you've got that fully rotated around, and actually she had a little more power there than she needed.
Kenny, the only representative for Bridgeport here in the individual event final, so good to see another program be able to step in here, get some recognition. As an individual, Kenny had a terrific season for Bridgeport, and we will see what her final score ends up at here on the vault. Back over to beam now as we await the scores for Jaylee Jones. Kirsten Johnson, who is in medal position on one event already with her 9.875 on vault in the first rotation. getting ready to compete here on the beam, the second of 3 events that we'll see Johnson in today.
Next up on the beam from Talladega.
Yeah, you know, she has gotten a lot of attention for her vault, as she should. I love watching her on beam, too. She really carries that power over, and I'm a fan of powerful beam work. Typically, a lot of times when you think of, like, classic beam work, you think of, power is something that we typically think of for, like, vault and floor, but I love a good, powerful beam worker, and she really exemplifies that. Another one starting with her series here, back handspring, layout, step out. A lot of height on that layout step out. As I mentioned, she's so powerful, but just too far off to the side. Her hips weren't square there. Check out this combination, though. How cool is that? Side summy lands, and then after landing sideways, does the split half sideways. That is really difficult. Good stretch through those splits. She puts on the crown in her routine. I absolutely love that. Punch Rudy. Don't see that dismount very often. Not her day, obviously, on that back handspring layout step out, but she is one to keep your eye on. Gonna have a super bright future at Talladega. And this is the combo I was talking about. Side summy, and check this out. You don't see that very often at all. And then she connects it. Nice job getting the split position in that turning element.
Yeah, and landing sideways as well, coming off of that side summy, just ups that difficulty by another level as we come back to Julia Bedell.
Big Yurchenko full. Just that baby hop there, which will probably be a half a tenth, but really nice to see her end her day on such a high note. End her competition, I should say, on such a high note.
Absolutely. Bedell is the defending USAG floor champion.
Yeah.
Didn't qualify this season, but we get to see her on vault. And, you know, unfortunately, selfishly, you'd love to see her again on another event. Terrifically talented gymnast and a great season overall for Brown.
Yeah, and, you know, an interesting fact about Brown, shout out to Ben with the Chalk Talk podcast. Lots of great interviews with some of the athletes you're seeing here. But they actually don't have enough room in their gym at Brown to train vault regularly. So they have to go to a different gym once a week to train those vaults because they want to land in softer pits and things like that. So it's incredibly impressive that you're training vaults like that not that often and you're able to pull out a vault like that.
Absolutely, yeah. Speaks to the talent that Bedell has. Brown qualifying to the USAG semifinals as a team, not able to make the team final last night, and now over on beam, awaiting scores for Kirsten Johnson, who unfortunately did take that fall on her series. So we have 2 beam workers left. The number to beat is a 9.8875 from Clara Wallace. 2 chances left at it, beginning with another Brown Bear. This is Lauren Kramer.
Yeah, and she's really pretty to watch here as well. Also, look at the support that she's getting from the other athletes. It's one of the things I love about USAG event finals. All these athletes are cheering for each other. It's really nice to see that sportsmanship. Cool series there, the aerial to back handspring. Lots of unique series in this beam final. Nice stretch in those split elements. Look at the show off. Getting up on a releve like that is wild when you've already got your leg up. Short of split on that split 3/4. But other than that short split, this has been a great routine. Punch run full, sinks into that, gives herself the nod. Fantastic routine.
Yeah, it was really well done there by Lauren Kramer, and we now have just one competitor left on the beam. Closing in on some individual finals here, some individual champions, 2 vaulters left. Sophia Isbell and Morgan Price still chasing that early 9.875. Isbell from Texas Women's.
And just the baby hop there, you can see that she... I love these celebrations. This is so fantastic. I love to see these athletes having so much fun. Why not? You're in event finals. These athletes have been working so hard. But as I was saying, those lines on the vault table, they are new to NCAA gymnastics. However, there is not a neutral deduction that is assigned to them like there are on floor. And by the way, I would like to see a neutral deduction associated with that. Would be very easy to implement. If we have the lines there for that purpose, we should have a neutral deduction associated with that. So I am available, NCAA Technical Committee, if you're listening. I'm happy to provide feedback. But in any case, getting a look on the replay there at this vault, big vault, little pike down, and you see that shuffle of the feet, but nice job overall.
Now there's one vaulter left representing Fisk Morgan Price. And we've come to our last beam routine of the competition as well. It will be Kylie Green, in the unusual position of trying to chase down her teammate here, who is the clubhouse leader, freshman Clara Wallace, with a 9.8875. Kylie Green, who qualified here with a 9.85 on Friday. She's had a season best 9.875 on beam. Looking to perhaps make it a 1-2 punch here for Air Force on the balance beam.
And I gotta say, I'm really liking Air Force's leotard. I love they've got the little lightning bolt on the side there and everything. I love the colors. Clean through that full turn. Check this out. Gainer, back handspring, layout, step out. Don't see that combination very often. And Lawrence Kramer score in a 9.8. So really, this is the only athlete left that could potentially catch Wallace. Nice job of keeping that back leg elevated during that switch split combination. And she's a fan of those gainer elements. Again, don't see the layout step up on its own very often. I just love her composition. One and a half, takes that pace forward. So I don't think that's going to get up to that range to challenge Wallace, but really appreciated her on the beam work. So cool.
And Air Force brought it today. Their 2 beam routines, 2 of the best that we saw. It's just phenomenal work. We talked about their strength on bars, but they brought it here as well.
Yeah, and here's that gainer back handspring layout step out that I was doing, that I was mentioning. Sorry, I never did that skill. But you would not want to see me doing that skill.
Morgan Price.
Oh, too bad. Just comes up a little short there. Takes that hop forward. You know, she over-rotated it in semifinals, and in warm-ups, I saw her over-rotate it too. So wondering if she just over-corrected a little bit there. Has to take that hop forward. So again, not going to challenge for those higher scoring values.
Now, of course, nothing's official until it's official, but we expect that those early opening scores are going to stand up. Kirsten Johnson, 9.875 on vault, and Clara Wallace, 9.8875 on balance beam. Not official yet as we wait for the final scoring to come in for Morgan Price on the vault and for Kylie Green on the beam. But Christina, as you would expect, looking at these first 2 events, pretty much everything that we could have asked for in terms of degree of difficulty, in terms of variety, great execution, and we are only at the midway point, just getting started really today. 2 more events to come with bars and floor, but already it's been an exciting afternoon.
Yeah, and I have to say, I think that the judges got the rank order right. I would have liked to see Beer's score a little higher. As I mentioned, there's just not enough separation between her vault compared to some of those other fulls. I would have had it at a 985, maybe a 9. But I do ultimately think that the ranking was correct, and that, getting that Johnson getting that 1.5 rewarded. She is so special. Shout out to Talladega in their first season.
Well, and I love that we continue this theme of history and history-making performances from the HBCUs in competition. We already have Morgan Price from Fisk bringing home the individual all-around title, and now the first bit of hardware at the USAG level going back to Talladega, and with a freshman, Kirsten Johnson, as well, makes it that much more exciting.
Yeah, again, she just a freshman. Of course, that Talladega team, for the most part, are freshmen. They do have some of those upperclassmen that have transferred in, but really shows you that the future is bright there. And Asia Sims Fletcher, the head coach over at Talladega, of course, standout athlete in her own right at Alabama, doing a great job building the program.
Absolutely. So 2 of our competitions have concluded. As you see, they are resetting the floor now for our last 2 competitions, which will feature the uneven bars and floor exercise. And we've got more hardware to hand out. A bars national champion and a floor national champion still to come. As unofficially, we have Kirsten Johnson and Clara Wallace in pole position on vault and on beam, respectively. And our USAG individual finals off to a terrific start here, wrapping up a terrific weekend of gymnastics at Westchester University. So we have come to the time to take a break, as we will check in with another one of our sponsors making today and this weekend possible, Synergy Gymnastics, just up the road in Malvern, Pennsylvania. Let's hear from them, and we'll come back to get you set on vault and beam and turn the page ahead to bars and floor.
Synergy Gymnastics, established in 2020, located in Malvern, PA, offers recreational classes, USAG competitive levels 2 through 10, and Excel. We strive to instill strong foundational skills to help our gymnasts grow and progress in their gymnastics, as well as build lifelong skills. Synergy is proud to be sponsoring the 2024 Collegiate National Championships hosted by Westchester University. From our team to yours, we wish the gymnasts and their teams the best of luck this weekend. Have fun, ladies!
Well, as we come back here to take a look at the features available, if you haven't clicked around and explored everything that Virtius has to offer, you should definitely do so. This is a look at what the team format looked like. You get the full lineups. You can dig in deeper, as we've talked about, getting some of those individual judging start values, individual judging splits, by looking at individual athlete scorecards. And in addition to doing a deep dive on the numbers, you can also check out by rotation or by event the different leaderboards that are available. Virtius there is no amount of data that is too much. So in addition to the live streams, you can really get the full picture of everything going on. And Christina, I know you and I have been at it for the last couple days as commentators, but also as fans of the sport. We have watched plenty of broadcasts here, and the ability to go in and kind of customize your own looks with respect to all of the data, all of the numbers that Virtius has to offer. One of the great things about this platform.
Yeah, and really fun. We talked about that a couple times. Start value issues coming in. Another really great feature there to see not only the judges' splits, but how they've got them laid out as start values.
Absolutely. So again, you've got lineups, you've got scorecards, you've got leaderboards, you've got a whole variety of ways to crunch all of the numbers yourself, give yourself some custom looks, and it's a part of the Virtius platform here as we come back live, as the touch warm-ups have not quite yet begun for our final 2 events, though this is not the final rotation. We'll have 2 rotations of bars and floor, similar to what we did with vault and beam. We are going to have half of the competitors go in the first rotation. We'll take another break, have another touch warm-up, and then we will have the rest of the bars and floor competitors. And Christina, we are going to be awash in floor routines today. We had 14 qualifiers on floor, thanks to some ties, as the top 5 plus ties out of the team semifinal sessions qualified to today. So here is a look at the floor rotation number 3. It will begin with Brown's Sophia Dewar. You have Southern Connecticut State's Libby Allen, and then a trio of Cornell athletes in a row, Josie Moylan, Alexandra Kiana, and Sydney Beers. Then Brown's Maya Davis, and in the anchor position, Kirsten Johnson will go 7th, already our vault title holder. So that is the first half of our competitors on floor exercise.
And Cornell did not make the final here for USAGs, but floor has been traditionally a strong event for them. So you see that represented here with those 3 athletes, that you have some different styles in those floor routines, and always fun to see that. Maya Davis from Brown, gosh, she's just got one of the most gorgeous routines in college gymnastics, in my opinion. And really, this is going to be a really stacked final, so I am looking forward to it.
So those are our first 7 on floor exercise. We will also be running the uneven bars competition simultaneously, and on bars, only 10 competitors through to the finals, so there were no extra ties to break. We will have 5 and 5, and we'll begin right off the bat with Maggie Slife, who is really going to have the opportunity to set the tone here for Air Force. She'll be followed by Texas woman's Brooke Ferrari. Southern Connecticut State's Gigi Mastalone is going to be one to keep an eye on. Hannah Applegate from Lindenwood, and Morgan Price from Fisk. Christina, I mean, all of these fields are loaded, but bars to me feels like, I think, the most unpredictable. I think you've got some really terrific scoring potential here in rotation 3 and our last 5 competitors in rotation 4.
Absolutely. And yeah, it's really great. What we're looking for on bars, again, just cueing our viewers into those minor details that are going to make the difference, because all of these athletes are great bar workers. What I want our viewers to pay attention to is leg separation in between the bar releases. That's going to be a point of separation. Things like on that bail to handstand, if people are doing Maloney's, that type of thing. Chest position on landing going to be really important. And for those athletes doing the double layouts, the athletes having some fun with the camera there. The athletes doing the double layouts, legs together on those double layouts. Maggie Slife, I got to say, this is a tough draw for her because, in my opinion, she's probably the favorite coming in here. She is 995 school record holder at Air Force. And, you know, really the order shouldn't matter. The code of points is the same. The judges should be applying this regardless of where an athlete is in the lineup. However, sometimes the judges are a little bit more hesitant to throw those bigger scores earlier in the lineup. So earlier in the order, I should say. So we'll see what happens here. But she's just got a huge full twisting double back and is fantastic. Morgan Price, you know, probably more known for example, her floor work, but she's a great bar worker as well and has a really huge dismount.
Yeah, I think your point about Slife is really well taken. You hope that if she can execute to her ability, that she'll be rewarded for it. Certainly, if you look by the numbers, she enters as the favorite. She's ranked 31st in all of NCAA gymnastics in this event. She's got an NQS over a 9.9 this season, so that weighted average of a 9.91. As you noted, record holder with a 9.95. She went 9.9 last night for Air Force, and that was before the scores in that 4th rotation really started to jump up in a big way. So she has been terrific, and yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. Worth noting, obviously not exactly an apples-to-apples comparison because of the different start values, but Kirsten Johnson did go second on that vault lineup, and that score did hold up throughout the rest of competition. So we'll see what's in store for Slife and Air Force here. A little bit of a longer transition time. Finally now the touch warm-up has begun, so a little bit of an extra time as we reset the arena look here and get things formatted. So Slife begins her warm-up, and now we'll go through the regular touch warm-up length for the competitors here on bars and floor.
Absolutely. And also, we have to say, as we're looking at these athletes coming in, Gigi Mastalone there for Southern Connecticut got a 10 earlier this season, first 10 in Southern Connecticut program history. So she is very, very capable of pushing the athletes in this lineup as well, and is a beautiful bar worker.
Yeah, absolutely. When you look at the scoring potential here, you have all 5 of these gymnasts on bars, Slife, Ferrari, Mastalone, Applegate, and Price, all 9.9 or above this year, certainly highlighted by Gigi's 10, a really remarkable moment earlier in the season for Southern Connecticut State. Got the chance to see her in person this year, and it is as advertised. She is really, really good on this event.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, you know, again, and this is one of the things that I'm so glad that USAG still has event finals for this reason, because you really get to see these top athletes going head to head, not in separate sessions, wondering, well, was this session scored a little, you know, looser than the other? Of course, they're split in different groups for the rotation, but still all in one day. And so it's really great to see. And again, I think that athletes in general tend to be more aggressive in these event final scenarios, which is fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. There's really there's nothing to hold back at this point. Obviously fighting through some fatigue. It's the second routine in 3 days for some of the competitors. It's the third routine in 3 days for others. And of course, at the end of a long season too, Christina, you know well that you know this sport definitely exacts its toll as the year goes on. Even gymnasts that are not injured are working through some bumps and some bruises and certainly some fatigue along the way to make it to the end here. And yeah, you hope that everyone has the opportunity to put it all out there one last time and feel good about either heading into the off season or heading into the next phase of their lives as we see a couple of really stellar careers end here this afternoon as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And so for those gymnasts that are, finishing their careers, so exciting for them to finish in an event final situation because the spotlight really is on them. I'm loving, by the way, this Southern Connecticut leotard too. I love they've got the old school kind of like jersey feel. Really cool.
Yeah, it's certainly a unique look for Southern Connecticut State. That stands out right away. I can't think of the last time I saw a jersey-looking number on the back of a gymnast leotard. So a different look there for Southern Connecticut State.
And fans, this is exciting for me because I very rarely get Kevin to weigh in on leotard fashion. So, when we're killing time on air, it's a good time for us to dig into some of that, and always fun to be on the mic with you, Kevin.
I defer to our good friends at College Gym News and the leotard rankings, and I'm a non-voting member. I read the articles each week, and I stay out of all other sartorial discussions. I leave that to you, Christina.
Can I just say, everyone needs to get themselves a play-by-play that is reading the College Gym News leotard rankings. That is truly dedication. And shout out to our friends from College Gym News, not only for their leotard rankings, but so many wonderful resources there, and certainly, and Juliana Rowland, particularly, who's there covering USAGs for College Gym News, Temple alum. Really, they've been a fantastic resource for me.
No doubt about it. Likewise, and yeah, love the work that they have done to promote this sport. And this has been a terrific showcase this weekend of USAG Gymnastics, of what this competition entails, the talent at this level, and we have been treated to just some great moments through these 3 days and expect it to continue now as we get set for bars and floor. Touch warm-up is just about concluded here. Again, we have 5 on bars, we have 7 on floor exercise, and then we will take one last break and have the other 5 for bars, the final 7 for floor, battling for these top spots and trying to join Talladega's Kirsten Johnson, Air Force's Clara Wallace as individual event national champions here this afternoon.
Yeah, and again, I think that I'm really glad that I thought that the judges did order those winners appropriately, and I think that Wallace being the only one doing that difficult triple series back handspring, layout, step out, so much more difficult to add that second layout, step out. It was really nice to see her rewarded for what was a very controlled beam routine.
All right, we are going to get ready to start here on floor exercise with the extra competitors. We'll start on floor, and it will begin with Brown's Sophia Duo.
One and a half to front full. Would have liked to see a little more rise in that front full, but nice control out of it. Nice control out of that double back. Didn't quite get that leap all the way around. Fun routine though, really nice job, and I thought the control out of her tumbling passes was really nice. And when I say that, again, just a reminder, when we say controlled lunge, what we mean is that you should be taking a step in the direction of the tumbling. So for front tumbling, a step forward, back tumbling, a step back, and that other foot stays anchored. She did a really nice job on that double back.
And one of the routines to watch on bars, we're going to get it right underway. Up first on the bars competition, Air Force's Maggie Slife.
Good first handstand there. Maloney, pack. That's what I'm talking about, the difference in those athletes that can keep their legs together as she did in that pack salto. Nice handstand there. She does this toe long. Look at this full twisting double back. That's a way to start a bar final.
Absolutely. That looked like you had to be sure that we weren't doing an instant replay of the team competition last night where she came out and knocked out a beautiful 9-9. I thought had the best overall bars routine in last night's team final.
Agreed.
And boy, she did it again here. It was excellent, and we'll see if that's going to hold up. But it is certainly setting the bar very high, pun fully intended.
Yeah. And very sky-high dismount, pun intended, because she wants to become a fighter pilot. So, you know, that's just part of the training at Air Force. I think you have no choice but to do sky-high elements. But yeah, fantastic for her. I mean, I can't say enough good things about Maggie Slife. She's a phenomenal talent.
Well, and trying to continue this youth movement that we've had here so far in the individual levels. We've got two freshmen in the pole positions right now with Kirsten Johnson of Talladega on vault, Clara Wallace of Air Force on beam, and perhaps Maggie Slife as well on the uneven bars. We go back to floor exercise now. Up second is Southern Connecticut State's Libby Allen.
Nice double pike there. Did not see a flag go up. She was pretty close to the line, but kept it in. Big lunge out. That's one of those areas, as I mentioned, not what I would define as a controlled lunge, because she did have a bounding step forward out of that pass. Loving her performance quality in this routine, though. Really playing to the crowd and her teammates off to the side there. And two double salto passes in this routine. Really impressive to see. We talked yesterday about how there is some controversy around the fact that you don't have to do 3 tumbling passes anymore in college gymnastics, and I really appreciate not only does she do 3 passes, but 2 double salto passes, and they're really cool to see.
Absolutely, and Southern Connecticut State will also be represented in the floor competition later in the 4th rotation by Ava Kelly. They did not qualify as a team, but qualified a whole bunch of individuals here to the semifinals, and now back over to the bars after a 9-8 3-7-5 for Maggie Slife. Here's Brooke Throw.
Nice Jaeger there. And she does this unique straddle back, popular from when I was in club gymnastics, and it's been a minute, folks, so cool to see that. Nice last handstand there. As that step back and had some shape issues in that double layout, I flagged at the top that double layout will be a place of separation for athletes. We want to see them keep that layout fully hips open, but she did a really nice Jaeger, and again, I love that straddle back, so cool routine. And this is what I'm talking about. She does this half pirouette into the straddle back to handstand, cool bars composition.
Over on the floor, up third. This is the beginning of the Cornell trio. We'll have 3 Cornell Big Red in a row, beginning with Josie Moore.
Rudy layout step out there, really cool. And gearing up for her final pass here, double pike. Chest a little forward there, takes that step forward. Remember, I mentioned we want to see the athletes take a step in the direction of the tumbling pass, so just a little shy there, but love the choreography in there, really fun. I absolutely love Cornell's choreography, and they have a lot of different styles, as I mentioned, that we're going to see.
Yeah, absolutely. First of 3 Cornell athletes in a row. And over on the uneven bars, one of the routines that I've had circled, certainly anytime you go 10-0 in the regular season, Gigi Mascalone, Southern Connecticut State record holder, one of the great performances of the season. Here we go on the uneven bars.
Right on top of the bar for that first handstand, pointed toes in that Tkachev. Oh, you know, keeps it moving through that half pirouette. She had to muscle it up a little bit, so that's going to be, or quite a bit, I should say, so that's going to be a deduction, but keeps it moving right through. Big full twisting double back, scoop back, so not going to see that challenging for the title here, but certainly congratulations to her for a phenomenal season.
Oh, absolutely. She has been terrific, and again, they are not taking that 10-0 away. You are in Southern Connecticut State history forever.
Next up on the floor from Cornell, Alexandra Kiana.
Yeah, and just struggled on that, getting up to that pirouette after her transition to the low bar. And anytime that you see what I describe as a muscle up, the gymnast is kind of bending their elbows, having to get that up, there's going to be a significant deduction there.
Opening scores here on floor, 9-7, 8-7, 5, 9-8. Waiting on Moreland scores as we go fourth, Alexandra Kiana.
And drills that double pike to start. Great job. Pretty ring positions there, gets her head released. Very important for those ring positions that the athlete releases their neck back towards the foot. Nice control in that combination pass. Cornell is bringing it on floor in these event finals. Great control out of those tumbling passes.
Right now, the leader of the moment is Josie Moylan, 9.825, as we get another look here at Kiana.
does that front full into the front layout, and that's that controlled step that I'm talking about. Really anchors that back foot as she takes that step forward.
And Slipe's opening 9.8375 is still held up. Anna Applegate will be up fourth for Lindenwood, 9.875 to qualify on Friday, 9.9 high this season.
And Slipe's number, as you mentioned, is holding up. Feels a little low to me, though. Admittedly, I didn't have a great angle on the pirouette to handstand that she did, so there might have been something there that they took.
When you look at those judges' splits, there's 1.99, 3.985s, and 2.98s.
Oh, tough break there. Pretty Ginger, I was going to say, just keeps her legs together, but on that low bar, bangs her feet on the floor, so that's going to be a flat 3/10 deduction. Nice double layout, really good control there, but, you know, not going to get in that scoring threshold of the other athletes.
Yeah, disappointing there for Applegate, who you could see when she puts those pieces together. She is terrific on this event. One of 3 Lindenwood bar workers here in the individual event finals. Just not able to match what we know that she is capable of doing here, but you see how she punctuated this routine and finished things off.
Yeah, and I love to see this when an athlete is able to come back, look at that chest position on landing, finish that routine on a high note.
All right, over to over the floor, finishing up this trifecta of Cornell athletes. The first 2 have gone 9.825. Here's Sydney Beers.
And get ready, because she is a powerhouse. Front through to the double pike. Oh, just comes in a little short, unfortunately, on that. And again, one of those places, as I mentioned, her chest was a little forward just to take that step forward. Big air time in those leaps, though, and jumps. Sticks that double back hold. So difficult to do. Yeah, you know, capable of getting in that 9-9 range. She's so powerful, but unfortunately did have that small error coming in short on her first pass. But she's just so still, I love that she ended that with that stuck double back. That's what we're used to seeing from her. Great job on that last pass.
Absolutely. And now 2 competitors left in the first rotation of 2 on floor exercise. We have 1 left on that will be Morgan Price representing Fisk. We saw her earlier on, struggled a bit on her vault. She is the individual all-around champion and gets to compete here on bars as well.
And the highlight of her routine to me comes at the end, has a big full-in dismount. Some leg separation in that Maloney. Nice handstand position in that bail to handstand, though. And here's what I'm talking about. Check this out. So far above the bar in that full twisting double back. Has that step back. So again, between that and a little leg separation, not going to challenge for that top position, but that dismount is big time.
Yeah, no doubt about it, and that finishes up the first half of bars competitors. So right now that 9.8375, albeit a little bit lower maybe than you and I had it, Christina, at least in real time. it's held up thus far. 5 competitors left, but some absolute powerhouses in the home stretch on bars as well. As we look at the floor scores right now, Sydney Beer still waiting on her number. The high score right now is belonging to Sydney Beer as it comes up 9-8-3-7-5. So she moves just ahead of her teammates Moylan and Kiana. I think that third pass had a lot to do with it, leaving a good impression, and now 2 left in the first half of the floor competition.
And let me just say, Maya Davis on floor, she is the definition of artistry on this event. So gorgeous to watch. Nice double pike. Oh, just stunning performance quality. You do not see that classical style in college gymnastics very often. I do think she had a mistake in her combination pass, but just really beautiful. The way that she pulls in that artistry, those really classical lines, it's special.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And Davis, part of this Brown contingent on floor. We've had a nice Ivy League representation here. 5 of our first 7 competitors in this lineup from either Cornell or Brown competing here at the USAG level. Now, 1 left. Kirsten Johnson is she has an opportunity to add to her trophy collection. Vault title 9875 earlier. She gets to wrap us up in the first rotation of 2 on-floor exercise after we get the scores in from Maya Davis.
Yeah, and this is a really fun routine as well. So great for her to be represented in 3 event finals. Again, set that record for Talladega. First gymnast in the 39s in the all-around. Did that in the semifinal.
Yeah, she and Maya Davis, the last 2 here in this floor lineup, both had the advantage of posting season-high scores in that semifinal competition. And remember, it was Friday's scores that determined qualification here to Sunday's individual event finals. So Davis had a season-best 9.9 on Friday. Kirsten Johnson had a season-best 9.875. So, you know, your NQS, any of that doesn't matter. It's what you do on the day in the semifinal that gets you here. And Davis and Johnson both have an opportunity to take advantage, though we are going to see the judges get together here to discuss the floor score for Maya Davis before we'll get the routine here from Johnson.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, I mentioned that she had a mistake in that combination pass. I believe she tucked an element that she meant to lay out, and so that's what they're probably talking about. Sometimes when you see compromise in body position like that, some of the judges, what will happen is some of the judges will take a deduction, but give it the credit of, for example, a layout position, whereas other judges will credit it as a tuck. And so that's what, again, I don't have any inside info. I don't know what they're talking about in there, but that's what I would guess they're doing, is determining the correct start value, even though because of that error, she's not really going to factor into the top standings. They still have to be within a range.
Yeah, I would agree with that assessment, Christina, though. Trying to parse what the judges are conversing about is always can be a fool's errand. So we'll see what they come out with here for Maya Davis. And again, just a little bit of an extra time for Kirsten Johnson to take it all in, finishing up what has been a terrific debut season for her at Talladega. does appear, at least from the judges that we can see, going with 9-8 start values over on our side, thanks to the Virtius platform. We'll know soon the exact judge splits and judge start values, but I think that that aligns neatly with what you discussed, Christina, about start values.
Kevin, you know I love to dig into the code of points and learn all about the start values and the various permutations. So, you know, I think it's a similar situation. You know, we saw that on beam as well. And, you know, on floor, same type of composition where you can build your difficulty either through doing those DRE elements or through doing things in combination. And so the start value will change. Remember, the sort of difficulty hierarchy is tuck is the easiest position, then pike, then layout. So when you're tucking an element, that's really going to affect the start value if you intended to lay it out.
We are ready to go with Kirsten Johnson due up on the floor. Scores are in for Maya Davis. We'll have them to you momentarily.
And again, unfortunate for her because I've seen her, you know, be sharper on that tumbling, but I just want to commend what she's doing for artistry in NCAA gymnastics.
Oh, I agree. Completely agree. Terrific performance quality to watch. And now we will get Johnson up 7 here on floor.
And speaking of great performance quality, love the confidence that Johnson has as a freshman. Front through, big double back. Great choreography. I love this music mix too. Just comes in a little shy on that double pike, but minimizes the deduction there, dancing out of it. I just love her performance quality, big time tumbling in that routine. Congratulations to her phenomenal freshman campaign.
Yeah, absolutely. What a way to finish it up. She has been outstanding. She brought her best with her to USAGs, which is all you can ask for. And with that, we are at the halfway point, but a nice note to finish it on. And we'll see with Sydney Beers currently in the lead, 9-8-3-7-5. In fact, those are the matching scores to beat Maggie Slice. 9-8-3-7-5 is still in first. So scoring has been a little bit tighter here on bars and floor, and we still have 12 total competitors left, and we'll see who's left standing at the end, Christina.
Yeah, really high bar, pun intended, for this opening session and for this opening section, I should say, of these event finals. And still got a lot of great athletes to come, so don't go anywhere.
Absolutely. It has been a terrific competition. We are not done yet. We are going to step away for a quick break. We are going to hear from last night's USAG team champions, Lindenwood, to talk about what the USAG championship has meant to them. And then we'll be back with the remainder of floor and bars when we continue here from Westchester.
Obviously, this year has been really unique for us in our program, just this being the last of kind of everything. So winning USAGs for us would mean so much, just to obviously like our coaching staff, each individual athlete, but really even more so just like the legacy of our program and everything that Lindenwood Gymnastics has stood for these past 12 seasons. And so we're obviously doing it for us and the hard work we put in this year, but it's really so much more than that. It's for every single team that has come before us and coaching staff. So.
Plenty of reminder that you can check out the meets here on the Virtius platform, but you should also find Virtius on YouTube and subscribe. We're trying to get up over 1,000 subscribers this weekend, and as you can see here by the scroll, tons of content on the Virtius YouTube page. You can go back and take a look at everything from this season. Over 150 competitions representing nearly a third of NCAA programs. You can catch all the highlights and stay in the loop for future events, and have even more programs, joining us next year on the Virtius platform. And guess what? It is all free for you, thanks to the support of local and national sponsors. So again, hit that subscribe button. Keep up with the live scoring and streaming events to keep Virtius going. Let them do what they're doing here in the collegiate gymnastics space, looking for 1,000 subscribers this weekend. And the season comes to an end here this weekend. You can head over to YouTube, check out all of those meet archives, highlights, anything you want to satisfy your gymnastics needs during the downtime. You got it right here on Virtius.
And let us know in the comments on the Virtius platform and YouTube how you're enjoying the meet, what routines are your favorite. Let us know there. You can also find us on Twitter. I'm CHRISTINA, and Kevin, not quite as active in the Twitter sphere as I am, but if you tag him, it'll get to him. So let us know how you're enjoying this meet.
Sometimes days or weeks later, so please don't be offended. But you can send all the correspondence to Christina, and she'll
pass it on.
It gets to the right place. All right.
Right.
So here are our scores on bars at the midway point. And, this has been an interesting competition here, Christina, because that 9.8375, at least in real time, I thought looked a touch low. You said it looked a touch low, but it has held up to this point. Morgan Price came the closest at a 9.825. So that number still stands, but we'll see how things progress here with 5 more competitors on bar. It's going to be very tough, I think, for that number to hold up overall, but we'll see how the back half of this lineup is able to compete.
And let me say this, Kevin, we talked about NCAA scoring. It has been getting very, very high these past couple seasons. I have no problem with tight scoring as long as it is applied equally across the gymnast. I would love to see tighter scoring in NCAA during the regular season. We can make that happen, and we should make that happen in order to reward those gymnasts going above and beyond. So it will be interesting to see as we move into the second half of the bars competitors if that tight scoring still holds.
Yeah, and a tip of the hat to the judges today. You've noted it several times, but when you look at the rank order, which is really all that matters, the scores are just to determine the placement here. There's really no benefit beyond that. No one's NQS is being affected by this. So you look at what they've done so far. I think the ranking has held up. You're right. Now the challenge, the question and the challenge for the judges here as we look at these last 5 routines is to make that scoring consistent from rotation number 3 over to rotation number 4. And again, we've got some terrific competitors here in the second half of this bars lineup, beginning with Lindenwood's Kaylee Cooper, who is the defending champion on this event, 2023 USAG Bars champion. She'll be followed by Westchester's Jordan Coleman, Texas Women's Cami Zarlengo, Lindenwood's Nia Kraus, and Brown's Asta Farrell in the 5th and final position, trying to take down that 9.8375 from Maggie Slight.
And there are gymnasts in this lineup very capable of doing that. Lindenwood lights out program record last night on bars, and Nia Kraus in that 4 spot was able to upgrade her dismount during the off season, competing that full twisting double back that she upgraded from last season. Didn't quite stick it last night, so we'll have to see if she can do that this afternoon.
Yeah, Lindenwood overall, not just a season high, a program record that will stand for the foreseeable future, 49.375 on bars to cap off a team title last night. Just what a way to go out. And you have Lindenwood well represented in bars here this afternoon. We already saw Applegate, though she had a tough issue there on that transition to the low bar, but we'll get 2 more Lindenwood competitors, Kaylee Cooper and Nia Kraus, here on bars in the next rotation.
And I also have to take this moment to thank Caleb Decker for his help on some insider information for Lindenwood. Really appreciate. I would not be half the commentator I am without the insight of the Gymternet, so I appreciate you all.
Likewise here. They are the best. We are so thrilled to be a part of this community and to have the chance to chat with some of the diehards this weekend, digging in on USAG team and event finals. Much appreciated as we move to floor and look at the competitors on floor. these are the scores in the first rotation of floor exercise. The high score at the moment belongs to Kirsten Johnson, 9.8625, coming in that 7th position at the end of the first rotation. She's already got a vault title in her pocket, and now trying to add a floor title to it as you look at where the scores stand halfway through floor exercise.
Yeah, and I agree with that ranking. You know, the only thing in that routine was just the tiniest bit short on that final pass, but had the best control overall of those first athletes.
And again, here is the group of athletes that will try to take down that 9.8625 and move on and take down a floor title, beginning with Lindenwood's Jaylee Jones. You have Morgan Price, who's had a busy afternoon. We'll be back at it for Fisk, our all-around champion this year. Maggie Slife for Air Force, Gayla Griswold for Lindenwood, Ava Kelly from Southern Connecticut State, Olivia Williams from Centenary, who will get to be represented here on the individual final stage. And last but not least, fittingly, Westchester gets to cap off the night, Caroline Cascadden in the anchor spot. Here is Jaylee Jones.
Nice double pike. This is a superhero-themed routine. So fun. Really nice control out of that front layout. Shy of split on that first leap. One and a half front layout. Would have liked to see a bit more rise in that front layout, but great control. Fun routine, nice control of those tumbling passes. Just a little short split there in the middle of the routine, but let's take a look at this opening tumbling pass. Double pike does a nice job of controlling that lunge.
Keeping with the Lindenwood theme here, we open with Jaylee Jones on floor. We'll go to her teammate, Kaylee Cooper. 10 different Lindenwood routines in this individual event finals, the most of any of the teams represented here at USAG. And we'll go now to the defending champion on this event, Kaylee Cooper.
And again, just so sad to see the end of Lindenwood Gymnastics. University is cutting the gymnastics program after the season, so great to see them so represented in these event finals.
It has been a bittersweet weekend, certainly at the moment of capturing the team final last night.
Big piked Jaeger there, nicely connected to the low bar. Maybe just a bit shy on that final handstand. Double layout though. A little scoot back, I think, on landing, but so pretty in the air. And I just love the joy. I love that they're competing with such joy in this moment that, as you said, is very bittersweet.
Now, they have not held anything back from the celebrations this weekend, either last night or today. That is for sure, as we get another look. Yeah, I think you're right, Christina. You had that. Definitely a little shuffle back.
Yeah, you know, just pretty, really pretty in the air. That's the celebration. Can we get more of this in college gymnastics, by the way? I want to see more people dropping elbows on a mat as celebrations.
Oh, my goodness. Over to floor now. Fisk's Morgan Price, all-around champion, finishing up her terrific season.
And the full package here. Check this out. Double pike. Oh, just that hop sort of forward into sideways. But great performance and choreography here. Nice control out of that combination pass. Great height and position on those leaps. And this is the highlight of the routine for me. 2.5 twist. Great control out of that. Such a fun routine. Really, really nicely done. I really feel like she is the complete package on floor. See her getting a hug from India Anderson, their assistant coach at Fisk and Temple alum. That 2.5 twist, just really nice form in the air. Her twisting form, legs together, and she opens up for it at the right time, comes out. Just a shame about that double pike, came in a little short there.
And recap the bar scores here. The high score is still a 98375 from Maggie Slife. Westchester's Jordan Coleman.
And one of my favorite gymnasts to watch, big Jaeger there, connects it well to the low bar. Does this free hip into her full turn. Love all this combination work into the dismount. Hangs on to the stick. You know, I had an opportunity, true honor, to commentate her program record, 9.925 earlier this season. Don't think it's going to go quite that high, but she is a dynamic bar worker.
Absolutely, and quite a moment for Westchester on their home floor as well.
Big air time. What I like about that is she does the free hip into the full pirouette, into the double back. Don't see that combo very often.
Excellent job, and Westchester gets two gymnasts represented here in this final rotation. Coleman deservedly so on bars, and then Caroline Cascadden will finish up today's meet. You see there in that number 7 position. Score comes in, it's a 9-8 for Morgan Price, so the 9.8625 is still the number to beat from Kirsten Johnson. Up third is Maggie Slife, who's currently in pole position over on bars as well.
And this is an athlete that can push that number. She's got a lot of power. Double pike, good control out of that, pretty in the air. One and a half to front loud. Just a little quick movement out of that pass. Would have liked to see her hold that landing position a little longer. Double back, drills the landing on that as well. Really nice job for Slife there. And just what a way to cap off her freshman campaign. Check this out, double back. That's where she keeps that front foot planted, takes that small pace backward, good height, really nice control of those tumbling passes.
Well, and as Slife puts together a nice floor routine, she has lost her lead on the uneven bars. We have a new leader, 9.8875 for the hometown favorite, Jordan Coleman of Westchester. 3 gymnasts left, beginning with Cammie Zarlengo of Texas Women's.
And interesting because she just had an adjustment there with her hand position before the Jaeger. We'll see if the judges take for that. Little bit of a leg separation on that bail to handstand as well. Really great dismount She's enjoying it. The team's enjoying it. Dismount, highlight of that routine for me. Great air time. Just a couple of minor places there with form on bars. On the bars, I mean. And here's that double out. She does pike it down now that I see it in replay, but really great job sticking that landing. And there's the replay of the celebration dance for you as well. Shout out to our production crew.
We have taken the celebrations to another level here, coming down the home stretch of individual finals. Well, how about this? Maggie Slife, 9-9 on floor, so she loses the bars title and moves right into pole position on the floor title.
Very well rewarded there. Glad to see that.
Now Gayla Griswold, who has gone 9.975, Lindenwood record holder, final routine for her.
And she has done so much for the Lindenwood program. Double pike, really pretty in the air there. Front layout, front full. Really nice position in the air. Really great control out of that double back as well. An emotional moment for her, for sure. Program record holder for Lindenwood, 9.975. Oh, you're gonna have to forgive me. I'm getting emotional just seeing. She's been such a powerhouse for Lindenwood. 5th year, comes back. Look at this. Double pike, opens up 2 double salto passes in that routine. Phenomenal job for her.
And you could see the emotion set in instantly as she was walking over toward her coach, the corner of the floor. And now the last Lindenwood routine belongs to Nia Kraus here on bars.
Nice ray to start there. Little leg separation in that transition to low bar. Remember, I said that's going to be one of the points of separation for this bar final, but gearing up for her full twisting double back, hop back, but congratulations to her. Again, one of those that's been having the celebrations, and hope to see her continue her career through the transfer portal, but great job for her this weekend.
Now, and just again, a tip of the hat to Lindenwood. We noted it at length last night, but it bears mentioning again what they have had to shoulder this season to do all that they have done, to come here to qualify 10 individuals to finals, to winning the team final last night with a 195.7. You know, all the while dealing with the emotion of knowing that the program was coming to an end, and their time at Lindenwood as well for most of them. Just tremendous stuff.
Yeah.
And we will keep it going here. You see 9.8625 for Gayla Griswold of Lindenwood. Back now to Ava Kelly, Southern Connecticut State. 3 routines left. Everyone chasing Maggie Slife, the 9.9.
Layout, front full, punch front. Nice to see that triple salto combination. I think she just overturned that switch side a bit. And what I mean by that is that she didn't finish it with the quarter turn she intended. I think she turned it a little too far. A little bit short on that double back, takes that step forward. Fun routine though, and I really like that triple salto combination she opened the routine in. Southern Connecticut did not qualify as a team here, but qualified a boatload of individuals really well represented at these event finals.
Absolutely, and yep, qualifying a handful of that group out of Friday here to Sunday. As we go over to the bars, the final routine, and it belongs to Asta Farrell of Brown.
And I love that free hip work into the Shushanova, the Maloney version, that toe-on version, much more popular, but I like to see that from her. A little bit shy on that half pirouette. Full turn into the double back, hangs on to the stick, good for her. This has been a difficult event for Brown this season, has not been their most consistent, but she has been so consistent for them, and really nice to see her putting together such a nice routine in event finals.
Yeah, and again, just you can see now, I think a lot of the emotion is starting to creep in on everyone's part here as seasons and careers start to come to an end. You can see right away the reaction from Farrell there. It starts to take on a whole additional meaning as we get down to the wire, and now just 2 routines left in the 2024 season here at the USAGs. We're going to Olivia Williams. We get to see Centenary represented here at the competition, which is great. And then Caroline Cascadden of Westchester.
Yeah, and Farrell, as you mentioned, on bars for Brown, she is a senior. So as you mentioned, those seniors, really an emotional moment for them. But excited Centenary here in the finals.
Like some of the competitors we mentioned, picked a great time to have a season best score on Friday, 9.75, to qualify here to the individual event finals.
Double back, nice control to open that routine. Oh, just comes in short on that last element of that tumbling pass, but hangs on to it. Fun performance from her, really nice routine. Anytime Missy Elliott is in a floor routine, Missy Elliott Mix is in a floor routine, I love it. Of course, that's now throwback, but was popular when I was in college, so, I'll let you do the math there, but really fun routine from her, really nice double back as well.
So our bar competition has concluded. We have 1 floor routine left as we get the replay here for Williams.
And that 1.5 does that. I think she was aiming to do a front pipe, tucks that, has to take that step back, but really the highlight for that routine for me was that double back, as I mentioned.
How about on bars? We talk about the historic weekend for Westchester qualifying as a team to team finals for the first time. Well, they're going to lead with an individual national champion, Jordan Coleman, on the bars, 9.8875. Remarkable finish on the bars. And now Westchester will get to punctuate today's meet with Caroline Cascadden, our last routine of the competition and of this wonderful 3-day weekend here at Westchester. Will belong to one of the host Rams. She'll try to chase down Maggie Slife in that 9-9 on floor.
And as I said, just shout out to Jordan Coleman. What a season she has had. One of the most underrated bar workers in college gymnastics, in my opinion. And so really great to see her. She, as I said, broke that program record, and then to see her culminate the season with a win here, phenomenal. And Cascade, and one of the co-record holders for Westchester, 9.925 career high for her. All eyes on her last routine here. Nails that double pike to start. Has that extra hop forward in that combination pass. One and a half punch front, ends that a bit low, but hangs on to it. Really nice routine. Don't think that's going to challenge Schleif. Had that extra power in her second pass there, but really fun to have a Westchester gymnast finishing this, and she has such a fun routine.
Absolutely, and again, they are leaving with some hardware as well. Her teammate Jordan Coleman bringing home the bars title. Let's get another look from the final routine of the competition weekend.
And really the highlight of her routine for me, high double pike without even a back handspring, really difficult to do.
So with that, our individual event championship competition has concluded. We are still waiting on the final score for Cascadon, and then we will know where things stand, at least unofficially, on our 4 events. We will join Morgan Price of Fisk in the all-around, and Lindenwood in the team title is bringing home hardware from the USAG National Championships here in Westchester in 2024, as we get to put a bow, Christina, on terrific weekend of competition. It began on Friday with the 2 semifinals, terrifically entertaining team final last night, and great execution. All 4 events, I think, very worthy champions here this afternoon.
Yeah, it was great because these gymnasts were really going for broke. I think it really speaks to the level of depth across college gymnastics. Remember, all the teams competing here have less than 8 scholarships available to gymnasts, and so these athletes are really, you know, we saw a triple series on beam, we saw 1.5 on vault. These athletes are going for that same level of difficulty, same level of competition as we see, same scoring that we see in Division 1. We've got a mix of Division 1 and Division 2 and 3 teams in this USAG final, but I just think it just speaks to how good the level of gymnastics is for these USAG teams.
I could not agree more. You see that final score does come in for Caroline Cascadon, a 9.7125, so that will solidify our 4 event winners to cap off this USAG weekend. And Christina, since you were on the subject, do want to mention that the USAG Collegiate National Championship was created by USA Gymnastics to showcase those Division 1, 2, and 3 colleges who offer less than 8 full scholarships. It celebrates opportunities for women to compete collegiately, but even though our weekend is done, the USAG calendar far from done. 2024 is a big year on the elite gymnastics calendar. We have got some major upcoming meets where stars like Simone Biles, Suni Lee, and Gabby Douglas may compete at the Core Hydration Classic. That's May 17th and 18th in Hartford, Connecticut. We've got the Xfinity U.S. Championships May 30th to June 2nd in Fort Worth, Texas. And last but certainly not least, the Olympic Trials June 27th through 30th in Minneapolis, Minnesota on both the men's and women's side. So USA Gymnastics just ramping up here in 2014. A lot of excitement, 2024, excuse me, a lot of excitement still to come.
And Suni Lee, if you haven't seen it on social media yet, she just posted her kitchen sink routine on bars. She's putting back-to-back releases together. It's wild. I can't wait to see what she's got in store. Shane Wiskets, of course, hometown guy. So many great athletes going to be competing for these Olympic spots.
Yeah, really looking forward to that. Tickets are on sale now, and you can follow USA Gymnastics for all the coverage moving into an incredibly busy and meaningful spring and summer with the Olympic Games coming up shortly. All right, well, that is going to wrap up our competition as we take a look at the leaderboards from today and where things have shaken out. We're going to start on vault. This is Jordan Coleman actually on bars, 9.8875 coming in that last rotation. And Coleman, hometown, Westchester here getting to take the win over on vault. Kirsten Johnson from Talladega, 9.875, came in with that 10-0 start value vault. That Yurchenko layout 1.5 was second up in the lineup, and that held up for an individual title going back to Talladega, just making history and a great performance, Christina.
Yeah, huge. And I agree with both of those event winners, just really dynamic routines. And Talladega, excited to see how they continue to grow. Great vault there for them.
Tie for second between Caitlin Hoyland of Texas Women's and Sydney Beers of Cornell. All right, that is your vault champion, Kirsten Johnson, making history for Talladega, as we will move it forward and check out the leaderboard from our next event. This is the uneven bars. Jordan Coleman saved the best for last. She was near the end of that second rotation, 9.8875, beating Maggie Slife, Nia Kraus, and Asta Farrell, who finished in a three-way tie for second at a 9.8375. Coleman at home, getting it done. Terrific routine and a worthy bars champion.
Yeah, it's just phenomenal what she's been able to do on bars. Westchester making team finals. Now they got an event winner. They've really grown this program, as you saw in that video clip earlier in the broadcast.
Congratulations to Barbara Cordova and her staff. Hosting the championship is a tremendous amount of effort and undertaking, yes. And then to be able to cap it off with the performances they had, just outstanding. As now we move to the balance beam, and Air Force taking over here in these final two events. Clara Wallace, as a freshman, 9.8875, 1-2 punch here for Air Force on beam, and then a three-way tie at 9.8 between Maldonado, Burton, and Kramer. But Clara Wallace coming out and winning a beam title, part of this incredibly talented young Air Force group. Really exciting way to finish up her season.
Yeah, keep an eye on this team, and I think what stands out to me about that 1-2 punch, as you mentioned, both those athletes having unique composition. Clara Wallace doing that triple series, back handspring layout, step out. Green doing that gainer, back handspring layout, step out. Love to see that.
And last but not least, floor exercise, where Air Force makes it 2 in a row. Maggie Slife, who was in pole position on bars for much of the competition, lost that first place lead late, but she came through on floor exercise with a big-time performance, going 9-9 in the final rotation on floor exercise, giving Air Force a second individual event win. And wow, when you talk about another terrifically talented Air Force freshman, that was huge, as she beats out Johnson of Talladega, Gaelic Griswold in her emotional final routine for Lindenwood. Maggie Slife, just incredible work what she did this season and here this weekend.
Absolutely. Of course, she qualified to the all-around in regionals. Slife did, and didn't have her best performance in the all-around at those regionals, but certainly something to keep your eye on moving forward. I thought she was the deserved winner here. Such great power and control. Johnson, Griswold, right on her tail, and those were great routines to watch as well. And all three of them had good performance quality too.
So those are your champions today in the individual events. Once again, Kirsten Johnson, Talladega on vault, Jordan Coleman, Westchester on bars, Clara Wallace, Air Force on beam, and Maggie Slife, Air Force on floor, joining Morgan Price, the all-around champion, and also, of course, our team champion, Lindenwood. Christina, it's been a terrific weekend getting to watch alongside you, getting to call these events alongside you. Final thoughts from the USAG competition?
Yeah, well, first of all, Kevin, always fun to share a mic with you. We have a great time, and we hope the fans have been enjoying it as well. I just want to underscore, number one, the gratitude that I have for Lindenwood Gymnastics. All that you've given to college gymnastics, your legacy will not be forgotten. And I think for the rest of the teams here, again, I hope our fans just appreciate how deep college gymnastics is. Fantastic routines across. Would encourage you, start following some of these teams that are outside of the top 25. So much great gymnastics happening. It was a phenomenal competition.
I couldn't say it any better, and I won't try to. I will echo your sentiments right down the line. It has been a pleasure to get to bring you USAG team and individual event finals over these last couple days. I want to thank my partner, CHRISTINA, CHAUVENET, and the entire Virtius team. A reminder, on the Virtius platform, subscribe to the Virtius YouTube page if you missed anything from this weekend of competition or over 150 events throughout this season. You can go check it all out. It'll be archived there. It's free to watch. Make sure you go check it out. They are doing great work in this space, and they'll be back again in 2025, as will we. But that will wrap up our 2024 USAG National Championship weekend here from Westchester University. We are going to send it back to public address for the presentation of today's awards after this. For my partner, CHRISTINA, CHAUVENET, I'm Kevin COPP. Thank you all so much for watching. Goodbye, everybody, from Westchester.
Head coaches, if you could please come to the scorer's table to sign the score sheet. We'd appreciate that. Head coaches to the scorer's table to sign the score sheet. Texas Women's University. The United States Air Force Academy. The University of Bridgeport. And Westchester University. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here are awards that were given out at Thursday night banquet before the event started. We had the Marie Ray Soper Spirit Award, which was handed out to Karen Ross of the University of Bridgeport. We had Assistant Coach of the Year, both from Lindenwood University, Sienna Krause and Stan Chawinski. And the Ken Anderson Head Coach of the Year went to Lindenwood University's Caitlin Branson. We would also like to congratulate Lindenwood University on their 5th USA Gymnastics Women's Collegiate National Championship. They won that last night at the team finals. And now as we give the individual event results, we ask the gymnasts to turn and face the scorers table.
A lot of effort to spin around and face the other way.
Yeah. She's trying to be other.
And when I call your name, just come up and take your place on the podium. First on the vault, in 6th place from Texas Women's University, Sophia Isbell. In 5th place from Brown University, Julia Bedell. In 4th place from Lindenwood University, Gayla Griswold. And from the U.S. Air Force Academy, Maggie Slight. And your national champion on the uneven bars from Westchester University, Jim Howard. Those are your top 6 on the uneven bars. And now for the top 6 on the balance beam. We had a tie for 6th place from Lindenwood University, Jaylee Jones. And from Cornell University, Sydney Mears. And we had a 3-way tie for 3rd place from Brown University, Lauren Kramer. From Cornell University, Michaela Burton. And from Talladega College, Alondra Maldonado. In 2nd place from the United States Air Force Academy, Kylie Green. And your national champion on the balance beam from the United States Air Force Academy, Clara Wallace. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your balance beam top 6. And now for the top 6 on the floor exercise. We had a tie for 6th place from Lindenwood University, Jaylee Jones. And from Cornell University, Josie Moylan. We also had a tie for 4th place. Teammates from Cornell University, Sydney Mears. And Alexandra Kiana. And then a tie for 2nd place from Lindenwood University, Gayla Griswold. And from Talladega College, Kirsten Johnson. And your national champion on the floor exercise. prize from the United States Air Force Academy, Maggie Slight. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we will give you the all-around finalists. These are the top 8. They were decided on Friday evening. In 8th place from Talladega College with a 38.4, Alex Chewy. In 7th place, from the United States Air Force Academy with a 38.775, Claire Wallace. In 6th place, from the University of Bridgeport with a 38.825, Laura Sepulveda. In 5th place, with a 38.85 from Westchester University, Sarah Eskew. In 4th place, from the United States Air Force Academy, with a 39.025, Maggie Slight. In 3rd place, from Talladega College with a 39.05, Kirsten Johnson. In 2nd place, from Lindenwood University with a 39.15, Jaylee Jones. And your 2024 USA Gymnastics Collegiate Women's All-Around Champion with a score of 39.225 from Fisk University, Morgan. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2024 all-around the top 8. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have one more award to hand out. We have this year's Outstanding Senior Athlete. She is from Texas Women's University, Caitlin Orland. and gentlemen, could we have all of the head coaches meet in the back underneath the national championship sign? We're trying to get a head coach's photo for USA Gymnastics. Thank you. All head coaches to the back of the arena underneath the Collegiate National Championship sign.